Hello. So people ask, is God male or is God female? And most of these questions end up being religious issues. And you will find that most of the times people are going to use the Holy Scriptures to either defend, most of the times, that God is male. But they really fail to see the point that when you look at the Bible and how it has been written, the authors of the Bible are going to use a technique we call anthropomorphism. So, what is anthropomorphism? So, this is a personification of things. So, an example, it's taking objects and giving them human characteristics. So, examples of cartoons, you can construct a cartoon, a cow, and you can give it the characteristics of a human being. It speaks, it can run, it can talk, all those. That's the technique of anthropomorphism. And I tend to believe this is the same technique that has been used in setting the Bible. So the authors are going to take human characteristics and attribute them to God. So we all know that God is not a human being who is created. So, and most of the times, because human beings have been set up in a patriarchal society, so when you look to the Bible and its history, since Eden, when Adam and Eve were created and when they eat the forbidden fruit, Eve is put into subjection to Adam. That is Genesis chapter 3, because she's the one who was on the forefront in eating the forbidden fruit. And because of that mindset, Eve shall be in subjection to Adam. And you will find that because of that society or that culture that begins, Eve being into subjection to Adam, all other generations that will follow, they are going to adopt the same model of patriarchy, men being dominant and being on the forefront in leadership, in everything. So when the authors of this holy scriptures are going to be writing, remember they are inspired, but they are all going to have biases based on the society they live in. And so you will find that when they write the Holy Scriptures, they are going to be biased to think, because in this society, God, males or a man has been elevated on a higher level than a woman. They are going to attribute all characteristics of dominance to God. And that's how people believe that God is male. And what they use is the technique of anthropomorphism. And people fail to see that there are portions in the Bible that also speak of God as a female, like Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom of Sophia, that's the story. Wisdom means words, and Sophia is described as God. So if you look at that story from Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20, God is described as female. And the dilemma is, because 80 on you would say 90% of the Bible attributes God as male. So do we ignore the 1% that attributes God as female? So we really need to separate our biases from the Bible. You can't use the Bible to define the gender of God. You really need to see how the scripture has been constructed. So both man and woman, Adam and Eve, were all created in the image of God, equally created in the image of God. So is God both male and female? So those are some of the complex questions that our religious leaders can't really answer, but they fail to see the technique of the Bible. So God sometimes is attributed as something else, and this is anthropomorphism. So that's the lesson that I really wanted us to see, that you cannot use the Holy Scriptures to give God a gender to say whether God is male or female. God has no gender. You can't use that characteristic because both a man and a woman were created in the image of God. What justification do we have to really overlook God being reflection of a woman and always think that God has the reflection of a man, knowing that the authors of the Holy Scriptures are using a principle guiding them? Out of their own biases, they think that God is male, and God is not male. God is not a human being. God has no gender. That's the lesson that I really want us to see. So if you're interested in more of topics like this, please subscribe, like, and share. Bye.